I'm just waiting for Woody to come. Is he preparing something or? I mean, if he's walking there, then it's a different case. Okay, then let's leave it.
I think he's preparing the line.
Okay, then leave Chukuna Dorje Jiden Wanjo Dorje Jeshaso Pema Jabu Konde Ngawanjo Nazizana Wanjen Heru Sawaye Jembenza Vaye Denjon de Be Jabo de Jende Malu Jegu Yedore Jema Joden Jaje Wanjo de Don Wanze Doje Pawan Jagezo Nando Nyamba Jembo Nganyedo Doje Goye Gaje Sezon Yo Game Songe Jete Kamso Wasema Bon Konde Yonla Ja Seje Danjo Yojin de Braje Doje Chaba Jembo Doje Ne Nam Yenga Jodo Gojosa Doje Jajo Chaba Jembo Ye Naze Deva Jembo Domje Ban Tae Jundu Jawe Roga Jen Deje Gongo Jewa Shinju Ramjan Zazo Wange Lazola Kube Zowan Debzo Jinjelo Jodun Udun Dugu Pada Tome Wando Jebeng Uduzo 3 times Oma Honre De Jemba Wange Porando De Donzozo Tobe Yisheko Maja De Dembe Merajende Doje Nima Nawa Jembo Chukuna Dae Doje Jide Wanjo Doje Jejaso Pema Jabo Konde Ngawanjo
Nazizana Wanjen Heruka Sangwaye Shebeze Varahi Te Chotupe Japo De
Jende Malu Jego Yendo Rejema Chotun Jaje Wanjo Deda Wanze Doje Bawan Jagezo Nando Nyamba Jembo Nanyedo Doje Goye Gaje Sesonyo Game Songe Jete Ganso Ose Mabon Konde Yonla Ja Seje Danjo Yojin De Braje Doje Chapa Jembo Doje Ne Namye Ngaro Dogo Joto Doje Jajo Chapa Jembo Ye Nanse Dewa Jembo Domje Ban Tae Jundu Trawe Roga Jen Deje Kongo Jewa Shinju Ramjan Zazo Wange Lazola Kube Zowan Debzo Jinjelo Jodun Mudun Dugu Pada Tome Wando Jebeng Uduzo Mahonre De Jemba Wange Porando De Donzozo Tobe Yesheku Macha De Dembe Meranjende Doje Nyima Nawa Chukuna Dae Doje Jide Wanjo Doje Jejaso Pema Jabo Konde Ngawanjo Nazizana Wanjen Heru Sawaye Jembenza Varaye Denjon Dobe Jabo De Jende Malu Jego Yendro Rejema Chotun Jaje Wanjo De Doje Pawan Jagezo Nando Nyamba Jembo Nanyedo Doje Goye Gaje Sezon Yo Game Songe Jete Kanzo Ose Mabon Konde Yonla Ja Seje Danjo Yojin De Braje Doje Chapa Jembo Doje Ne Nam Yenga Dogo Jozo Doje Jajo Chapa Jembo Ye Nase Dewa Jembo Domje Ban Tae Jundu Trawe Roga Jen Deje Gongo Jewa Shinju Ramjan Zazo Wange Lazola Kube Zowan Debzo Jinjelo Chodun Gurun Dugu Pada Tome Wando Jebeng Uduzo Naze Nanda Raje
Galaxy 117
Taji Joju Jena Jubaye Sanje Juda Gende Babe Zoy Gunla Janza Daja Taji Deme jabu zaden dondre koen jambe jamba geda padam bai kola komba jache damba zaza padane zemje damje la kon trape bai yitzen zeba zara trabande zenzan de betashi Devare Shiba Gelan Chanzalo Chambajan Baden Dorje Jele Ziwan Gombo Chambe Saye Nimbo Tripa Nambaze Nange Nimbo Banjo Gandu Zan Upadye Pekar Shindan Nubu Dawar Chansen Lenan Rashi Bajin Joy Chanchu Zemba Gela Chatsalo Rinje Dunjo Trashi Zejinya Dunjo Bonzan Yirung Kamala Nyendra Tunda Bonzo Babero Mino Bonjour Golo De Rinje Danjo Jeje Chansen Jen Jodo Jawan Jeje Jeje Ma Geso No Tembe Bapero Trashi Lamo Gela Chanzalo Samba Jembo Dejo Zeme Bo Meton Dendan Jabo Yongon Zon Paje Bodan Luan Mimizan Namde Zede Laden Golo Dan Jiju Ladan Dondon Dorje Jembe Wan Radri Chuden Janzen Zen Sasun Nezo Gele Tashi Ben Jiden Jongwa Jela Chanzalo Tacha Tindri Jawa Zombala Gedan Yewan Zewa Kunshine Dundu Bambe Sandu Yishin Tashi Dele Bonson Sofa Shuho Oje Yuje Nujan Zan Pema Dombo La Yangzen Joge Ngordunye Pema June Shesu Jan Gordu Gandru Mambu Chiji Jisu Dandru Je Chenje La Je Shesu Zon Guru Pema Dewo
Kesar Zombo Lai Anzen
Jorge Ngordunye Pema June Shesu Drai Gordu Gandru Mambu Kur Chiji Jisu Dandru Je Chenje La Je Shesu Zon Guru Pema Sede Pema Kesar Dombo La Yangzen Joge Ngordunye Pema June Shesu Drai Gordu Gandru Mambu Jiji Jisu Dandru Je Chenje La Je Shesu Guru Pema Sede
Galaxy 3
Kinga Mebe Jada Lunzo Deva Chambu Nanga Shinda Dorje Jore Me Lama Chuchi Kula Zoa Devu Jembe Chingam su kusun tu da yun den jen le je ye she nga den de wa she pe kun tu je je na zu su su den lama lon je zo ku la so wa de u jen be ma jun ne la so wa Min jin jiten da be jengan sun tu je jembun tu ve dun la juen kan la kan du da ende dam a juen da da de sun je lama tu be kula zoan Ujjin Pema June La Sovande. That is Demachik W, page 795, 791. Ma ho chugu gonzando Nado jinja domba dozen jomde jaje jan gombo zeba medan jele zeyeme pema de la zoa Kuye danyin jambare shinje
Galaxy 5.
Danye wanjen da genze doje danye yanda helu kanguru yeji norbala soande yende zeno enjejo helu kanjinle danye Dorje jene ko mamo kandro zowo manzo Bajen danjen zala soan kuyi yinsu jendro shidron hai sunge dange yin la junye den doje gong zanda yon la jan kandro zowo jela soan de kuza londen zonza den Gomba le jembula de zeve shajembula yon la jan kandruz Gula zoa de kajen denon guru Rinpoche toda jaje gombe zondo Dungen de la redo shema je doje zeje vojen de beku Duna de be dunge yodro do chen la yeshe wanjen kodo zo nyamdan do Sashu je badan dendro bemben do zara denjen seje sanjen drupa jenje lo yan ya peburu page 84 Deta mege yada
Galaxy 9.
ye jenan jeng obo tamje Naya danze me beng an la jo zonze taba sadon la ye gunda
Randrochi
Lama la sovande urjem pema june la sovande deda nave yada tabai Nyenda menyen zimbe dana gun tato samdo tawe ngala jo tato jengal me pa jave tato jave son la zova de uje pema jone la zova de da ye yudan java Toba jishayang usu jijyo lo ye Riba Dorje Lama la Sovande Oye Pema June la Sovande Chedaya Nanda Tapada Nanda Zembe Zenye Dovada Pado Sarango Ye tu sun junje namje toje ye dante lamje dro jenje lo sanje kunde peme jasa je julo menga dambe sanzun jime toujours de ben anjo pa mange droit de te bonjo zave lama pema kawan sovan de son truba shene sala yonde da yaje gumbo jeta yermen zanja shu handout Pema June Zoje Dorje ye Tenje Gombe Chenla Nyenla Be Pade Lama Damba Soa Ginjun Toba Jeba Shenje Lo Ome Chuje Yenje Bodrande Tesa Sanje Kunje Ngowo Ransave Chugu Ngosuma Tanze Ba Tsave Lame Shal Sowa De Tata Jingi Group Niba Tinda Group Niba De Tsidin Luse Tsidin Luse Shidwa No Tiki Page Niba Ki Yingling Tamat Anga Inji Anga Niba Ki last line
Shower of Blessings 16.
Yamne Kunda Mahaguru La Desun Chanju Badu Jasunje Gaja Ruga Sanje Sanguche Sala La Menanjula Sunja Yamne Kunda Mahaguru Kanyan Roka Sanje Sangache Sala La Menan La Zunjai Aharalu Tamai Nebendungaru Nirbe genje Guru Pema Side Yu Jenu Jansan Pema Kesa Tombola Yansen Chokin Gudunye Pema June Shizota Kudu Kadro Mambuko Chiti Jesu Dadu Jenjela Shizu Guru Pema Side Yu Jenu Jansan Pema Kesa Tombola Yansen Chokin Gudunye Pema June Shizota Kudu Kadro Mambuko Chiti Jesu Dadu Jenjela Jesus Guru Pema Side Jenu Jansan Pema Kesa Tombola Yansen Chokin Gudunye Pema June Shizota Kudu Kadro Mambuko Chiti Jesu Dadu Jenjela Jesus Guru Pema Side Jenu Jansan Pema Kesa Tombola Yansen Chokin Gudunye Pema June Shizota Kudu Kadro Mambuko Chiti Jesu Dadu Jenjela Jesus Guru Pema Side Jenu Jansan Pema Kesa Tombola Yansen Chokin Gudunye Pema June Shizota Kudu Kadro Mambuko Chiti Jesu Dadu Jenjela Jesus Guru Pema Side Jenu Jansan Pema Kesa Tombola Yansen Chokin Gudunye Pema June Shizota Kudu Kadro Mambuko Chiti Jesu Dadu Jenjela Jesus Guru Pema Side Jenu Jansan Pema Kesa Tombola Yansen Chokin Gudunye Pema June Shizota Kudu Kadro Mambuko Chiti Jesu Dadu Jenjela Jesus Guru Pema Side Jenu Jansan Pema Kesa Tombola Yansen Chokin Gudunye Pema June Shizota Kudu Kadro Mambuko Chiti Jesu Dadu Jenjela Jesus Guru Pema Side Jenu Jansan Pema Kesa Tombola Yansen Chokin Gudunye Pema June Shizota Kudu Kadro Mambuko Chiti Jesu Dadu Jenjela Jesus Guru Pema Side Jenu Jansan Pema Kesa Tombola Yansen Chokin Gudunye Pema June Shizota Kudu Kadro Mambuko Chiti Jesu Dadu Jenjela Jesus Guru Pema Side Jenu Jansan Pema Kesa Tombola Yansen Chokin Gudunye Pema June Shizota Kudu Kadro Mambuko Chiti Jesu Dadu Jenjela Jesus Guru Pema Side Jenu Jansan Pema Kesa Tombola Yansen Chokin Gudunye Pema June Shizota Kudu Kadro Mambuko Chiti Jesu Dadu Jenjela Jesus Guru Pema Side Jenu Jansan Pema Kesa Tombola Yansen Chokin Gudunye Pema June Shizota Kudu Kadro Mambuko Chiti Jesu Dadu Jenjela Jesus Guru Pema Side Pema Kesa Tombola, Yamsen Choking Udunye, Pema June Jesuda, Kosu Kanto Mamba Kore, Chichi Jesuda, Chenji Laje Jesuda, Kuru Pema Viri, Oh, Jeyu Jenu Jansa, Pema Kesa Tombola, Yamsen Choking Udunye, Pema June Jesuda, Kosu Kanto Mamba Kore, Chichi Jesuda, Chenji Laje Jesuda, Guru Pema Sede Ho, Jenu Jansa, Pema Kesa Tombola, Yamsen Choking Udunye, Pema June Jesuda, Kosu Kanto Mamba Kore, Chichi Jesuda, Chenji Laje Jesuda, Guru Pema Sede Ho, Jenu Jansa, Pema Kesa Tombola, Yamsen Choking Udunye, Pema June Jesuda, Kosu Kanto Mamba Kore, Chichi Jesuda, Chenji Laje Jesuda, Guru Pema Sede Ho, Jenu Jansa, Pema Kesa Tombola, Yamsen Choking Udunye, Pema June Jesuda, Kosu Kanto Mamba Kore, Chichi Jesuda, Chenji Laje Jesuda, Guru Pema Sede Ho, Jenu Jansa, Pema Kesa Tombola, Yamsen Choking Udunye, Pema June Jesuda, Kosu Kanto Mamba Kore, Chichi Jesuda, Chenji Laje Jesuda, Guru Pema Sede Ho, Jenu Jansa, Pema Kesa Tombola, Yamsen Choking Udunye, Pema June Jesuda, Kosu Kanto Mamba Kore, Chichi Jesuda, Chenji Laje Jesuda, Guru Pema Sede Ho, Jenu Jansa, Pema Kesa Tombola, Yamsen Choking Udunye, Pema June Jesuda, Kosu Kanto Mamba Kore, Chichi Jesuda, Chenji Laje Jesuda, Guru Pema Sede Ho, Jenu Jansa, Pema Kesa Tombola, Yamsen Choking Udunye, Pema June Jesuda, Kosu Kanto Mamba Kore, Chichi Jesuda, Chenji Laje Jesuda, Guru Pema Sede Ho, Jenu Jansa, Pema Kesa Tombola, Yamsen Choking Udunye, Pema June Jesuda, Kosu Kanto Mamba Kore, Chichi Jesuda, Chenji Laje Jesuda, Guru Pema Sede Ho, Jenu Jansa, Pema Kesa Tombola, Yamsen Choking Udunye, Pema June Jesuda, Kosu Kanto Mamba Kore, Chichi Jesuda, Chenji Laje Jesuda, Guru Pema Sede Ho, Jenu Jansa, Pema Kesa Tombola, Yamsen Choking Udunye, Pema June Jesuda, Kosu Kanto Mamba Kore, Chichi Jesuda, Chenji Laje Jesuda, Guru Pema Sede Ho, Jenu Jansa, Pema Kesa Tombola, Yamsen Choking Udunye, Pema June Jesuda, Kosu Kanto Mamba Kore, Chichi Jesuda, Chenji Laje Jesuda, Guru Pema Sede Ho, Jenu Jansa, Pema Kesa Tombola, Yamsen Choking Udunye, Pema June Jesuda, Kosu Kanto Mamba Kore, Chichi Jesuda, Chenji Laje Jesuda, Guru Pema Sede Ho, Jenu Jansa, Pema Kesa Tombola, Yamsen Choking Udunye, Pema June Jesuda, Kosu Kanto Mamba Kore, Chichi Jesuda, Chenji Laje Jesuda, Guru Pema Sede Ho, Jenu Jansa, Pema Kesa Tombola, Yamsen Choking Udunye, Pema June Jesuda, Kosu Kanto Mamba Kore, Chichi Jesuda, Chenji Laje Jesuda, Guru Pema Sede Ho, Jenu Jansa, Pema Kesa Tombola, Yamsen Choking Udunye, Pema June Jesuda, Kosu Kanto Mamba Kore, Chichi Jesuda, Chenji Laje Jesuda, Guru Pema Sede Ho, Jenu Jansa, Pema Kesa Tombola, Yamsen Choking Udunye, Pema June Jesuda, Kosu Kanto Mamba Kore, Chichi Jesuda, Chenji Laje Jesuda, Guru Pema Sede Ho, Yamzen jogging Udunye, Pemanjune Shesuta, Koto Kandro Mambuko, Chichi Jesu Daduje, Chinche Laje Shesuso, Guru Pemaside, Pema Kesa Tombola, Yamzen jogging Udunye, Pemanjune Shesuta, Koto Kandro Mambuko, Chichi Jesu Daduje, Chinche Laje Shesuso, Guru Pemaside. No, Jin Jin of Janza, Pema Kesa Tombola, Yamzen jogging Udunye, Pemanjune Shesuta, Koto Kandro Mambuko, Chichi Jesu Daduje, Chinche Laje Shesuso, Guru Pemaside, Jin Jin of Janza, Pema Kesa Tombola, Yamzen jogging Udunye, Pemanjune Shesuta, Koto Kandro Mambuko, Chichi Jesu Daduje, Chinche Laje Shesuso, Guru Pemaside, Jin Jin of Janza, Pema Kesa Tombola, Yamzen jogging Udunye, Pemanjune Shesuta, Koto Kandro Mambuko, Chichi Jesu Daduje, Chinche Laje Shesuso, Guru Pemaside, Pema Kesa Tombola, Yamzen jogging Udunye, Pemanjune Shesuta, Koto Kandro Mambuko, Chichi Jesu Daduje, Chinche Laje Shesuso, Guru Pemaside. Jin Jin of Janza, Pema Kesa Tombola, Yamzen jogging Udunye, Pemanjune Shesuta, Koto Kandro Mambuko, Chichi Jesu Daduje, Chinche Laje Shesuso, Guru Pemaside. Jin Jin of Janza, Pema Kesa Tombola, Yamzen jogging Udunye, Pemanjune Shesuta, Koto Kandro Mambuko, Chichi Jesu Daduje, Chinche Laje Shesuso, Guru Pemaside. Jin Janza, Pema Kesa Tombola, Yamzen jogging Udunye, Pemanjune Shesuta, Koto Kandro Mambuko, Chichi Jesu Daduje, Chinche Laje Shesuso, Guru Pemaside. Jin Janza, Pema Kesa Tombola, Yamzen jogging Udunye, Pemanjune Shesuta, Koto Kandro Mambuko, Chichi Jesu Daduje, Chinche Laje Shesuso, Guru Pemaside. Jin Janza, Pema Kesa Tombola, Yamzen jogging Udunye, Pemanjune Shesuta, Koto Kandro Mambuko, Chichi Jesu Daduje, Chinche Laje Shesuso, Guru Pemaside. Pema Kesa Tombola, Yamzen jogging Udunye, Pemanjune Shesuta, Koto Kandro Mambuko, Chichi Jesu Daduje, Chinche Laje Shesuso, Guru Pemaside. Jin Janza, Pema Kesa Tombola, Yamzen jogging Udunye, Pemanjune Shesuta, Koto Kandro Mambuko, Chichi Jesu Daduje, Chinche Laje Shesuso, Guru Pemaside. Jin Janza, Pema Kesa Tombola, Yamzen jogging Udunye, Pemanjune Shesuta, Koto Kandro Mambuko, Chichi Jesu Daduje, Chinche Laje Shesuso, Guru Pemaside. Jin Janza, Pema Kesa Tombola, Yamzen jogging Udunye, Koto Kandro Mambuko, Chichi Jesu Daduje, Chinche Laje Shesuso, Guru Pemaside. Jin Janza, Pema Kesa Tombola, Yamzen jogging Udunye, Pemanjune Shesuta, Koto Kandro Mambuko, Chichi Jesu Daduje, Chinche Laje Shesuso, Guru Pemaside. Jin Janza, Pema Kesa Tombola, Pema Juni Jesuda, Gordon Kandro Mambuko, Jeji Jesuda, Jeji Laji Jesus, Guru Pema Sidi, Jenu Jantai, Pema Gesa Gombola, Pema Juni Jesuda, Gordon Kandro Mambuko, Jeji Jesuda, Jeji Laji Jesus, Guru Pema Sidi, Pema Juni Jesuda, Gordon Kandro Mambuko, Jeji Jesuda, Jeji Laji Jesus, Guru Pema Sidi, Jenu Janta, Pema Gesa Dombola, Jesuda, Gordon Kandro Mambuko, Jeji Jesuda, Jeji Laji Jesus, Guru Pema Sidi, Jenu Janta, Pema Gesa Dombola, Dorje, Pema Juni Jesuda, Gordon Kandro Mambuko, Jeji Jesuda, Jeji Laji Jesus, Guru Pema Sidi, Jenu Janta, Pema Gesa Dombola, Yamsen Chogi Dorje, Pema Juni Jesuda, Gordon Kandro Mambuko, Jeji Jesuda, Jeji Laji Jesus, Guru Pema Sidi, Jenu Janta, Pema Gesa Dombola, Yamsen Chogi Dorje, Pema Juni Jesuda, Gordon Kandro Mambuko, Jeji Jesuda, Jeji Laji Jesus, Guru Pema Sidi, Pema Gesa Dombola, Yamsen Chogi Dorje, Pema Juni Jesuda, Gordon Kandro Mambuko, Jeji Jesuda, Jeji Laji Jesus, Guru Pema Sidi, Jenu Janta, Pema Gesa Dombola, Yamsen Chogi Dorje, Pema Juni Jesuda, Gordon Kandro Mambuko, Jeji Jesuda, Jeji Laji Jesus, Guru Pema Sidi, Jenu Janta, Pema Gesa Dombola, Yamsen Chogi Dorje, Pema Juni Jesuda, Gordon Kandro Mambuko, Jeji Jesuda, Jeji Laji Jesus, Guru Pema Sidi, Jenu Janta, Pema Gesa Dombola, Yamsen Chogi Dorje, Pema Juni Jesuda, Gordon Kandro Mambuko, Jeji Jesuda, Jeji Laji Jesus, Guru Pema Sidi, Jenu Janta, Pema Gesa Dombola, Yamsen Chogi Dorje, Pema Juni Jesuda, Gordon Kandro Mambuko, Jeji Jesuda, Jeji Laji Jesus, Guru Pema Sidi, Jenu Janta, Pema Gesa Dombola, Yamsen Chogi Dorje, Pema Juni Jesuda, Gordon Kandro Mambuko, Jeji Jesuda, Jeji Laji Jesus, Guru Pema Sidi, Jenu Janta, Pema Gesa Dombola, Yamsen Chogi Dorje, Pema Juni Jesuda, Gordon Kandro Mambuko, Jeji Jesuda, Jeji Laji Jesus, Guru Pema Sidi, Jenu Janta, Pema Gesa Dombola, Yamsen Chogi Dorje, Pema Juni Jesuda, Gordon Kandro Mambuko, Jeji Jesuda, Jeji Laji Jesus, Guru Pema Sidi, Jenu Janta, Pema Gesa Dombola, Yamsen Chogi Dorje, Pema Juni Jesuda, Gordon Kandro Mambuko, Jeji Jesuda, Jeji Laji Jesus, Guru Pema Sidi, Jenu Janta, Pema Gesa Dombola, Yamsen Chogi Dorje, Pema Juni Jesuda, Gordon Kandro Mambuko, Jeji Jesuda, Jeji Laji Jesus, Guru Pema Sidi, Tumba Lame, Sanji Rinpoche, Chupa Lame, Tamchu Rinpoche, Tempa Lame, Gende Rinpoche, Jane Kunju Sumla Chupa, Omin Chuji Yinji Polan, Tusum Sanji, Kunji Ngomani, Ranzim Chuku Ngosunda, Savela Meshala, Chuba. Chashinamabe. The end of saw that taking Yingting Shiva the Dwa Yichung Dwa didn't do what Angi Inji Angi Trubagi Yingting Shiva Muguji Sowa Tabe Lama Yavyumji John Samdan Tokane Ishije was a Nengaba Taldara Rangi Hingara Tembe Juchinji Laba Umam Benzanguru Pema Sidi Home. So while we are reciting, then I will say a few words. And as we are all gathered here today, it is Lama Pema Dorje Rinpoche's Parinirvana anniversary, and those who are connected to him, Rinpoche Sanghas in Taiwan and in Russia and Europe also, and within our own Sangha, Changdu Gompa Sangha, there's many Sanghas of Changdu Gompa also have taken teachings and empowerments and even high, such as the Tsalung practices, trainings from him. And he is also one of our Changdu Gompa Lamas. And it is a very honor to have the ceremony done here with Dungse Truku Ringzin and Kandrup Kunzanla and son Dungse also Jume here. And of course many of our Sanghas couldn't join just because of the coronavirus social distancing, and then we have to protect visitors and also our staff, so then many people couldn't join here today. But people are joining through social media, through what do you call
YouTube,
live stream, YouTube, these things. And just to in the tantric texts, there's quite a few tantric text quotes that taking advantage on the day such as this, our Lama's Parinirvana time, to perform our practice and unite with the mind of the Lama has a great benefit in order to have some sense of leap in our own practice realizations. And the other quotation says that being able to perform a practice such as this kind of way is far greater than the practice of many deities, such as number-wise by millions of different deities. It is a simple, yet it is very powerful. So therefore, it is very nice that we are all together here physically, few of us, and also through this internet, then we have many of us together. And Lama Pema Dorje Rinpoche as my relation to him, I know him since when I was very, very young. And he's my family friend. Basically, Rinpoche's family is very close friends of my family. And also we share many, what I call, as he is also my Vajra brother, spiritual point of view, Vajra brother, worldly point of view, very close family friend. And I really have a great sense of affection, love to him, because who he is as a person, as a human being. He is such a sweet, kind, and a very loyal person. Then as a spiritual point of view, he is my Vajra brother, and we share Lama together, of course. And he is not only just a Vajra brother, but I have great respect to him as a spiritual point of view, great respect to him, because he is not only just a senior practitioner, but he is really a realized master, but very humble. No complication, no complicated Lama. He is so realized, so knowledgeable, yet very simple, very pure, basically. In a nutshell, that is the one it is. Your Lama is a very, very pure Lama, very realized Lama. And what I'm saying, realized Lama, is that even though he is not here physically, realized Lama of this level doesn't have so much to do with the distance, because of the mind is pure, and mind is somewhat arrived to a state that is free of obscuration, so that there is no limitation or distance to the mind. So it is from your, as a Sangha, I'm talking in like this way to the people those who are not here, as a Taiwan Sanghas of Rinpoche, and a Russia Sangha of Rinpoche's, and a Brazil, and so forth. Basically, his blessing is not lacking. What may be lacking is your own devotion. And you have to realize that he is a great master, that his blessings, there is no limitations by distance, because he is passed away, physically not here, so we may have the ideas of like that, but there is no distance from his side. From our own lack of devotions, you may feel there is a sense of kind of a distance. So that we have to know that if you can keep on praying to him, keep on carrying his activities, and blessings of him will come uninterruptedly. I say uninterruptedly. So therefore, and whatever we have established, he have established Dharma centers, activities, and then as a Sangha's responsibility is to trying to preserve and trying to extend, trying to carry the enlightened intention of his, enlightened activity of his, in order to bring benefit. And so therefore, and then as we were doing practice of Guru Rinpoche, shower blessings, which is basically it is a mind treasure, so to speak, of Jamgun Mipham Rinpoche, or omniscient Miham Rinpoche, and practice of this. And Guru Rinpoche and the Lama, we visualize inseparable. Then as you see the text goes, basically visualizing Guru Rinpoche, then having the sense of presence of the Guru Rinpoche in front of you, sky in front of you, and then kind of having sense of kind of a performing or the practice of 7 branch offerings, or the 7 branch practices. And there's so much to do as a practitioners, because as a Mahayana practitioners, just simple as a Mahayana practitioners, we're supposed to have each other a sense of care, sense of affection, sense of seeing the person's pure nature as a Buddha nature is one thing. On the top of that, as seeing as a none other than mother sentient beings, that it is our object of our practice. You can say, or we can say, it is no different, no lesser than what we visualize as Buddhas and Bodhisattvas. As Atisha says, the mother sentient beings is equal kindness as Buddhas and Bodhisattvas, because without of them we will not have the field of practice, field of training of the paramitas such as generosity, patience, moral discipline, and so forth. They provide us all of those conditions in order to fulfill, in order to accomplish the practice of paramitas. And so therefore we're supposed to have, we're supposed to have some sense of kind of positive engagement or positive way of thinking of others. But then at the same time, as a human beings, it's not always that easy. We can have sense of jealousy might arise, such as anger might arise. Basically, always in the positive note is very difficult to be. But if you really think about it, that in order to be in the path of Mahayana, then having a jealousy of others' accomplishment, others' success, that is, it contaminates our vow of the Bodhisattva. Because in the practice of Bodhisattva, as we always pray, may I can take suffering and cause sufferings of others. May I provide or share happiness and cause of happiness to others, mother sentient beings. So therefore, if you see someone is happy, success means some degrees of happy, and how can we have a jealousy? How can we have a pride? How can we have an envy? See, all of these kind of a thought, emotion arising, it contaminates our vow. The practice of bodhicitta, it contaminates. And so therefore, in generally, there is something to deal with. Then as a Vajrayana point of view, then not only seeing those beings in this way as we were talking just now, but also we're supposed to see all beings as none other than deities or the Dragas and Dakinis, because of nature of that nature of being is no different than the deities, such as Guru Rinpoche or such as Taras. So therefore, we're supposed to see every being as the deities. We're supposed to see every environment of the external as a pure land and immeasurable mansions and things like that. We're supposed to be in the pure perception in all times. But then that is, as we all experience, being in that experience is very, very, unfortunately, very glimpse, not always in that thing. But we, at the same time, we're trying to think of as a container and a content, as a beings and the places as that way. We just assume that that's the way it is because of the Vajrayana view. That's one thing. And then on the top of that, as a Lama, no matter how much we say, oh yes, I have a faith to my teacher, I have a devotion to my teacher, but still that our mind, the habitual, samsaric habitual mind, which is basically a judgmental way, that it is possible that we may not have as pure perceptions as we wish, as we want, or as the teaching teaches. Basically, as a point of view of Vajrayana, then our Lama, we're supposed to see no different than the Buddhas. Of course, Bodhisattvas, no different than the Buddhas, no different than the deities. And all, as a kindness point of view, we're supposed to see much more greater than the Buddhas and Bodhisattvas, because the teacher is the one that leads us by step into teachings, into the practice path of liberation. And so therefore, and then we're supposed to have that kind of a relation. So, in these times, again, as we were talking here, after the visualizations of the Guru Rinpoche, then appearance-wise, what you have in front is a Guru Rinpoche, then in the essence, then the Lama Pema Dorje Rinpoche and the Guru Rinpoche inseparable, you visualize. After you visualizing of that, so then imagine of all of the principle as in Guru Rinpoche and Lama Pema Dorje inseparable, you visualize, and then around them as then the mandalas of the three roots, mandalas of the three jewels, then surrounding to that, and then think of as in Drakas and Drakinis, then the Vidyadharas of India, Vidyadharas of Tibet, all the great, such as 25 disciples and so forth, visualize. And then in front of that, then you as a follower, you as a disciple, with a pure motivation, and then it is based on your own mental capacity or mental flexibility, then either you just simply visualize all that Buddha field inseparable with the Lama and the Guru mandalas, and then either you prostrate with a pure motivation in order to purify your body, speech, and mind, so that we can have a sense of kind of blending oneness nature. If your mental flexibility or the capacity allows you more, then at one prostration ideas, and then you can manifest, you can visualize yourself by tens, hundreds and thousands, and then think of it as a fear, then prostrating in front of the mandala, then that kind of a way, it is a very powerful way of engaging. then such as the offerings, then the same thing. Then there, whatever we are accumulating at this moment as a virtue, then that can be offered. Or whatever we have as a gather, as a material offerings, as a flowers, butter lamps, and these things, those can be offered in front of the Buddha field. Then also, not only physical of those things, but simply as some things that we belongs to us, then that whatever we have as a beautiful things and precious and things, they imagine of that offerings. Then as something that is not belong to individuals, but in the general offering, general beauty of the environment and so forth, those can be offered. Then mental offerings as a visualizing beautiful thing, whatever they may be in our own this universe, in this world, this universe, this galaxy, then think of as offerings in front of the Lama. Basically, when we're talking about Lama, means Lama and the mandala of the Guru Rinpoche inseparable, yeah? So then think of as offerings. Basically, when we say prostrations, it has to, your mind has to be flexible, has to expand as much as you can. When we talk about offerings, also has to be flexible, expanding in the sense of Dādu Sōngwē Chöpa, Dādu Māzōngwē Chöpa, Yīgyū Chöpa Chöpa. So basically, many ways of making offerings, as you see in the practice of Shantideva, the teachings of Shantideva in the Bodhisattva Chara Avatara, Chunjuk practice teachings. Then that kind of way of we have to visualize and offer. Again, whatever we do, if we do a practice of prostrations, you have to think about the entire reason or the purpose of that is to benefit mothers and beings. If you make offerings, that again has to be all intention to bring benefit towards all mothers and beings. Lama Pema Dorje's every effort of his day, or you can say year, month, day, hours, everything that he have done, it is all to benefit beings. And so therefore, so since you're supposed to be following the footsteps of the Lama, so therefore, if we do prostration, there has to be for that reason. If we make offerings, that has to be that reasons. Such as then going as a confessions. As we talked before, there is Mahayana point of view, simple as just simply our mental habitual force, having envy, jealousy, these things itself is one of the most important to confess, because it contaminates the vow of the Mahayana. So, within the Sangha, having jealousy is something to address. As a practice, within the Sangha, as a jealousy of someone's success, something to be confessed. Then, of course, any kind of a physical non-virtue, verbal non-virtue, mental non-virtue, these things we have to confess in front of the Lama. And as we said before, that Lama's mind is, if we can accept acknowledge our mistakes and truly confess, Lama's mind is, there's no lacking of by distance to purify or forgive. And so therefore it is very, very important to have this. We will have something to confess by our worldly point of view, because of our habitual force. There's something to confess because of the 5 poisons, karmas arise, negative karmas arising through jealousy, pride, desire, what is it? Anger, miserliness, then such as ignorant or the stupidity. So, in general, then on the top of that, as a bodhisattva's point of view, so then the self-cherishing forces which contaminates or contaminates the practice of the bodhisattva, then there's, of course, always have something to purify. Then on the top of that, as a Vajrayana point of view, as we talked before, then not being able to be on the pure view and not being able to be on the eyes of the Vajrayana, so to speak, in order to see the Vajra brothers, Vajra sisters in the right way. Above all, then seeing our own teacher in the right way, as seeing no different than the Buddhas in general, and also a much greater kindness than the Buddhas in that kind of a way. It lacks here and there. And so therefore, then we always have something to confess. And these kind of more we can kind of accept and face our own these small here and there problems of these things, more we can purify, the more our mind will be more clear, more sharp, and by that mind being more clear and mind being more sharp, then understanding of the teachings will be much greater, and actualizing or realizing of the teachings will be much greater. By that, so then benefiting mother sentient beings will be much more greater. By gathering of these qualities, and then we are uplifting our own teachers' enlightened intent. Then we are kind of fulfilling the teacher's activity or the wishes. As you see in the teachings on the Guru Yoga, the best offerings to the teacher is not material. Best offerings to the teacher is student practicing properly and putting the practice in a proper, so that bringing us some sense of transformations in a positive way, then that is the best offerings, because then that is fulfilling the wish of the teacher, wish of the lineage, wish of the bodhisattvas, and wish of all the Buddhas. So therefore, that is the best offering, because that kind of a gain has a sense of inexhausting benefiting qualities, that realizations. Offerings of physical, these things are, I'm not saying is bad, but only relying on that can have a sense of exhausting qualities in a very fast. And so therefore, then pray to Lama Pema Dorje and Guru Rinpoche inseparable, and then you go through this idea of these things together, and purifying, confessing, and then then such as the rejoicing, qualities of the Buddhas and Bodhisattvas in generally, and particularly as I was speaking before, the Lama Pema Dorje Rinpoche is really a pure master. It may be my lack of impurity mind. Maybe I see some maybe pure, some maybe complicated, and whatever these things. But he is very pure, very no complication, no dharma politics. It's just simple, pure practitioners. So wherever he goes, he just leaves a footprint of dharma, but he doesn't leave a footprint of worldly, messy things behind him, you know. And it's a very, very beautiful. Then if you talk about past life, that kind of thing, so then it is more impressive, you know. And he is a great master in this life, and also he is a emanation. How do you say emanation? Yeah. Emanation of a very famous truth master. This Indian master. I know, but Indian name I forget. The Dambasangye, we call it Pat Dambasangye. It's very interesting. But he never says that he is this and that. But you look at him, he has so many characters of Indian. He has so much character of Indian person. Tibetan man, but has so much natural character of Indian. It's very interesting, Indian kind of sadhu kind of way. So anyway, and he is really a great master. There's something to really, if you are not a student of him, just simply think of him, and there's something to be kind of, how you say, something to be, there's something to arise as an affection to him, you know? And he's really, genuinely, basically he's a great master, basically. So therefore, then really trying to bring us Buddhas and Bodhisattvas qualities, of course rejoice, and seeing of his qualities and his activities, bring rejoice, and then think, pray, that may I can uplift or be as good as him in order to bring benefit towards mothers and beings. That kind of a way, it's wonderful. Then such as the one branch is the turning the wheel of Dharma kind of things. And you have received many teachings. Of course, we have to pray that kind of way. Pray that Buddhas and Bodhisattvas are turning the wheel of Dharma in all directions in this particular kind of times. Then, of course, Lama Rinpoche, as I said before, the mind of his is not by limitation-wise, and so therefore pray the manifesting of his mind, enlightened mind, in all different realms in order to bring benefits, things like this. Then particularly ourselves, then you really have to know how to really have the sense of the wheel of Dharma. You have to know how to have all the teachings that you have received. Open the book the notes, read, trying to reflect on the teachings, contemplate on the teachings, trying to integrate the teachings to your mind. Once you put effort like this, then there is a naturally teachings of him affecting to you in a good way happens all the time. So there is a sense of kind of turning the wheel of Dharma, turning the teachings of his to you becomes always there. And that kind of a way, then see, our mind is so kind of limited by our this samsaric things. Once we have that kind of a way of seeing, then you will always feel close to him. You will always feel like he is with you in a sense of presence. Or you may say, or you feel like you are close to him. You are in his presence. So if you can really reflect on the teachings, not you take teachings, you take a note, and then you put a note on your bookshelf, then nothing there. So if you can really, if you apply the teachings, those teachings can benefit you. There's so much to cultivate. And therefore, more you think of, more you pay attention to the teachings, there's more to benefit you. And so therefore, so then that kind of way, then you truly develop the devotion to the Lama, you know. And then of course, as masters like him, such as example like this. One simple example that you all see. He taught here and there tirelessly. He doesn't really try to, to put, it's like a trademark or a territory, like the lions or the cats go around and pee everywhere and trying to make a territory. Doesn't do that way. He just goes teach, trying to benefit things. There's no string attached. He created a beautiful center in Nepal, beautiful land, and I was there this early spring, I think, early spring or the winter, late winter. Beautiful land, beautiful center built. He offered that to, he knows his time. Before he passed away, he made it very clear to offer that to Dorje Rinpoche's incarnation. He offered as his wish offerings, and then Khandro Kunzang made the transfer things to the Dorje Rinpoche's son. There is no, that worldly attachments to the activities. Otherwise, if it's a very much worldly kind of way of thinking, yes, Lama Pema Dorje Rinpoche and the Khandro Kunzang, they have not just kids, but Trugu Ringzin is here, Ojin is here. Ojin is quite a knowledgeable person, and then Gyurme is here, Semo is here. There's 4 kids there. If they are not a Dharma person at all, okay, he may just say, okay, they are not Dharma person, so therefore I give it away. They are Dharma people. Not only Dharma people, Trugu Ringzin is a Lama, Trugu. So I say, oh, I must leave this one for my son. Not that way. He built, he teach, gather things, materials, he built, and then whatever he sees as the most beneficial, he offers. There's no attachment as a worldly point of view. It is simply to serve the Buddha Dharma, serve the teachings of Guru Pema Sambhava, serve the teachings of our early school Nyingma, and so forth. There is no personal attachment, personal things at all. So therefore, simply as his last activity itself demonstrates how pure he is, And so therefore, whatever you see of his activities, that is entirely to serve Buddha Dharma, entirely to serve the mother sentient beings, and then you rejoice of that things, and then dedicate to all mother sentient beings. While you are doing that dedication, then think of as whatever you creating yourself as a small virtues here and there, then think of as a may I become like him in order to dedicate this for the Buddhas and Bodhisattvas as a higher beings, and dedicate towards the mother sentient being as a lower beings, basically that kind of a way. So you think, you pray, one point. Basically, in a nutshell, then it is we have to know how to have the sense of closeness to our teacher. Then if you pay attention like these things, then you will always feel close to your teacher. And having the sense of closeness to your teacher, then it will naturally keep your own action of the body, action of the speech, action of the mind, naturally in the right way. Because as I always say this one, if you put in your room a picture of your teacher, and if you have no sense of closeness to the teacher, but just simply relying on the picture, you can be doing all kinds of stuff in front of that, opposite of what he taught or what she taught, things like that. You may do many things as our ordinary habitual forces actions. But if the teacher is in front of you, in your room, you will not behave the way you behave in front of a picture. You will have a little bit more sense of carefulness, sense of mindful of your behaviors. So therefore, the Guru Yoga is very, very important. When you have the sense of kind of a closeness to your Guru, then you will always stay on the right track. You will always stay on the virtue track, virtue path. And then, that kind of a way, so then, having a sense of affection to the Vajra brothers and sisters, love and care towards Vajra brothers and sisters will be there. Then such as a Vajrayana point of view, since we are, nobody forced us to be a Vajrayana. I want to make it clear. Nobody forced us to be a Vajrayana. We choose ourselves to be following the path of Vajrayana. So therefore, we have to know how to be a Vajrayana person. So that means we have to have a sense of pure devotion, pure way of engaging in the practice. So therefore, we always have to have a sense of affection, care to beings in general, and particularly as a Vajra brothers and sisters. Then as a Vajrayana point of view, then we should have more than that, as having a sense a little bit more nandra reason. Basically, we're supposed to have all appearance, all sounds, and all thoughts You may, if you have it as all forms, as deities and pure land, wonderful. All sounds, all sounds of content and container, these things, all sounds coming, arising to you as a mantra, wonderful. All thoughts arising sees none other than, no different than the mind of Dharma, mind of Buddha, or we say the Dharmakaya aspect, the Dharmakaya as a pristine awareness aspect, ideas, wonderful. Or at least we suppose have that aspiration. All forms nature is, all form is that. May I gain of these perceptions to realizations. All sounds nature is, all sound is no different than the mantras, and may I actualize that. All thoughts are no different than the mind of Buddhas, and therefore may I have that realization. So we have to have that kind of ideas. Then, such as you read in the words of my perfect teacher Parinirvana's teachings, Vajrayana practice, it basically boils down into no matter how much the practitioners say, I'm a Vajrayana, it comes down to, you can tell the practitioner is how good the Vajrayana is due to seeing how their expression of the Guru Yoga, really. Lama passing away, or having a great devotion to Lama, then talking very negative behind the Khandro, the wife of the Lama. Happens, isn't it? Happens. It's really interesting. It's really interesting. There is no tantric, you can't find a one page, forget about the volume, whole text, you can't find a one page of any tantric, either as a lower tantra category or upper tantra category. You will not find a one page or one line says, yes, you can have a great devotion to your teacher, but not to the consort. Teacher can be a female or male, then the consort can be a male or female, right? So whatever it is, you will not find. But at the same time, people still do all kinds of stuff. This is not. Bottom line is, as a spiritual point of view, Vajrayana point of view, we suppose to have that sense of kind of unwaver way of relation to the Guru. Guru in a sense of, we say Lama Yap, Lama Yum. Father aspect of Guru, mother aspect of Guru, supposed to always keep. Worldly point of view also, we have to have some understanding. All the things are, there's so much to do with the contribution of the partner, so to speak, of the person. Whatever we have gained, whatever we have received, there is so much contribution from that other person. If the Lama is a female, then the partner of that have contributions in it. If the Lama is a male, then the wife or that also has so much contribution in that. So basically, there is so much contributions in what we received, what we have gained. So therefore, at the worldly point of view, we suppose to have some sense of gratitude, some sense of appreciation. So therefore, worldly point of view, it is good to be loyal. Dharma point of view, it is also to see no differentiating of Lama and the Lama's consort. As I said, you will not find any teachings of Vajrayana, Tantric teachings. You can open hundreds of different Tantric texts. You will not find one line says, yes, okay, to respect to the teacher, but not respect to the teacher's partner. Doesn't say that. But Rinpoche says, even to hit or harm the pet of the Lama is not okay. That's in the words of the teacher, yeah? That's in there, words of the teacher. When the great masters, when they are walking towards their teachers, when they hear the dog of the teacher's place, when they hear the barking from the far away, they prostrate. Because the dog is also a mandala of the teacher. So therefore, really, that I'm very, very happy that Sangha in Taiwan is still very, very strong, and I'm happy just because Sangha is very still practicing and very strong in general, and also I'm more happy because that I see there is some more deeper really appreciation or seeing the qualities of the Lama. And I'm very happy and I rejoice of your practice and your strength and support to still Khandro Gurinzi and the Khandro Kunzan. They still carry the activity of the Rinpoche, Lama Pema Rinpoche, and of course you will still continue supporting or being in a one kind of a in the same page, so to speak, same page. And then of course Sanghas in Russia, Sanghas in Europe, then they is wonderful. And then this morning we're doing shower blessing because not everybody have a green Tara empowerment. And so therefore then we are doing shower blessing practice for in general people, and then afternoon then we will do the green Tara talk. So then yeah, so then basically you have to think of that way and pray one pointedly in the essence as a practitioner of Vajrayana, so that then we always have to know how to see the Lama in the practice of Vajrayana as this particular case as in Guru Rinpoche. You visualize Guru Rinpoche and then you don't get carried away only by Guru Rinpoche,
You have to see your own precious teacher in Guru Rinpoche. Then you are talking Guru Yoga practice. Then you are talking practice of Vajrayana. If you only visualize whatever the deity is by the text, and then you're just doing practice, actually not really. Lama may be basically without the Lama there is nothing to gain. This is not a word of somebody made it up newly. It is from the beginning. In the Tantric teachings talks that way. So it is important to have that, and so therefore, if you visualizing in front, Lama and the deity inseparable. Let's say if you are eating times, then you have to visualize Lama within you as in the throat chakra. Then when you are eating time, so then think of as all whatever you consume is all becomes offerings to the Guru. And then when you go to sleep, then you visualize Lama in your heart, and then you go to sleep. So basically, when you wake up, Lama remains above your crown chakra. When you eat, then when you are walking, Lama remains on your crown chakra, little on the right side. And when you are eating, Lama remains in your throat chakra. When you are sleeping, Lama remains in your heart. So therefore, all of our, we call the four Cholamshi, basically sitting, eating, walking, sleeping, all of these times, then the Lama is with you. So then when you have that kind of idea, then we are talking as a Vajrayana practice. So therefore, we all should put effort into having Lama like that, wherever we are Lama. So then you will feel that sense of kind of a closeness or the presence of the Lama with you in your life. Okay? So then, take a short break. Maybe 10 minutes break, please.
Galaxy 15, Saksang Dorje Irme Tuji Welcome to Yandala Rame Chichi Palalam Church Sadam Ji Paden Lame Compagno Tosho.
Come on, shoot, go. Control chip up the gun on the corner of the part in Paki Chapan of a patron on the wall. What not patron now? So I'm telling person them to be bathroom in Tara house. No, I told controller maybe you can tell them. Yeah, maybe they can follow then.